Welcome back to Satisfactory Project Nuclear Overdrive. In last episode, we built the aluminum factory, and all we did was build a bunch of aluminum ingots. I basically left off where I was in the last episode, and yeah, we just got a bunch of aluminum being produced. In fact, some of the smelters are full already. It's kind of just going down the line, filling up, so we'll get there. It'll fill up eventually, and then this whole system will shut down. Completely fine. But we got a ton of aluminum ready to be used, and in today's episode, we will be using some of it. Not all of it, some of it. So, the first thing we need to do, and I explained this at the end of last episode as well, first thing we need to do is make aluminum casings. Pretty simple. Just take aluminum ingots and copper ingots, combine them together. We only need to make a few of these, so I will tell you exactly how many we need. And we might produce just a little bit extra if we can, but if we don't want to, we don't have to. The total amount of assemblers that I need is, where is it, 13.54. That really isn't a whole lot of alkali casings. But then we also need a couple other things this episode. And this one is the heat exchanger. It's an alternate recipe. It's aluminum casings and rubber to make some heat sinks. So we need to use most of our aluminum casings for this. And we are gonna need a total of 35.84 assemblers of heat sinks. And then every single heatsink that we're going to produce, we are going to use it in the radio connection unit alternate recipe to make some radio control units. Every single heatsink we make is going to go here. The rest of the high-speed connectors that we have will go here, and the quartz crystals, which we're making in that black and white building over there, will go here. And we need a total of 23.89 manufacturers. So there's that. And then once we're done setting all that up, we will decorate this building and make it look nice. And that should be a pretty good episode there. So, first thing I'm going to do, and I'm probably going to set the aluminum casing up and the heat sinks up just because they go hand in hand with each other. I'll set those up together. And then we'll come back and connect those up. And then after that, I'll set up the radio control units. And we'll connect that up together as well. And then I'll design the building, show that off. And then we can move on to the next episode after that. So we're getting close. We're getting close to the end. We're actually getting close to being able to turn on the nuclear power plants and getting that ready to go. We're getting there. We're only... This is episode 16. Episode 17 is fused modular frames and pressure conversion cubes. Episode 18 is plutonium cells and plutonium fuel rods. So in 2 episodes, we can actually fire up the uranium power plants, which is insane. I'm excited for that. And it's going to be a stress test on the system. We're going to see how this goes. So first, we need to get through this episode and the next one, and then we can see what happens from there. So, let me work on this. The sooner we get through this, the better. Well, I'm back, and I've been busy, and I can show you what I've done. I've actually just put everything on this level here with the trains, because it fit, and might as well. So it's not so empty space, so might as well do that. So in this set here, we got all of the aluminum casings. Just need to connect up the aluminum ingots and the copper ingots. I did have enough of these where I needed like 1.75 lines or whatever of aluminum casings. I got that all figured out. So I got the 2 lines here. I got the blue line and I got the green line. So that's how they're broken out. This set takes like 800 and some, not all that much. So yeah, all we have to do is connect these up, and to make sure they don't clip into anything, I have them all preset. And so we'll just get a bunch of aluminum ingots into these machines here. And then we have 75 copper ingots per minute in each of these, except for like the last one. The last one's just a little bit less. We set that to 55.7. Whatever, it's all good. So, yeah, that's what we're taking here. Just need less than 1,200 copper ingots per minute. So 1 line of copper is all that we need. And we just connect it up there. And then we should start seeing some aluminum casings being produced. Now I did calculate exactly how many casings I need for the next step, which is the heat exchanger. And that'll be from this machine all the way down, including that one that is a partial. So that actually takes care of a lot of it for me. And then these 4 will go to a future step. I don't remember what step that is, but it's enough. We're good. So that's really what we're doing here. So we're getting the aluminum casings, which is pretty simple. It was really easy to set up. And this is actually a much better recipe than I anticipated. I like it. So we're good here. And then we're actually starting to get aluminum casings in these machines here. So the heat sinks. We just needed one set to 8.4, which is totally good. And then the rest are set at 10 at 100%. And we have like 36 of these machines. And thankfully, both the aluminum casings and the rubber fit on one line. So this one will come through and fill in everything eventually. And then the rubber, once we get it connected, which we can do, that is over here. Once we get that connected, we'll start making some heat sinks, which will be really nice. So the rubber's all coming from that building there, but I'm gonna have to kind of work out some kinks in this building here, so I'll do that another time. But we just got to connect up this belt here, and all the rubber will fly down to the set of machines that I have. So we'll come over there and check that out and see the heat sinks being made. Maybe we can get lucky and catch one fly out. Alright, there we go. There's the heat sinks. They're flying down, so once all these kick on, they all go to the same exact place, which they all go down this line here. And they all fit on one line, which is really nice. And they come up this way, and I've already set up all the manufacturers for the radio control units. So we should start seeing some heat sinks getting plopped into these machines, which they are. Now all we have to do is connect up the high-speed connectors and the quartz crystals. Those are ready to be connected all the way over here. So I do have 24 of these all set up, 14 down this line and the other 10 over there. I was able to squeeze it in. Not too bad. So this top line is all the quartz crystals, which we're already producing over in that building over there. So all we have to do is connect this up here, and that'll start filling in everything we need. There we go. So this one's kind of it's going to go in reverse direction, so the heat sinks will eventually get here, but it'll take some time. And then the high-speed connectors are right here. That came from that building over there. Pretty simple to connect that one up too. And now we got the high-speed connectors. So as soon as this gets enough heat sinks, we'll start producing some radio control units. And that'll be it. That'll be it for this episode. So maybe we can catch one while it's being produced. But anyways, I'll show you after I design the building that we got some of these radio connection units producing. But the only thing I got left in this video is to build the rest of this building, make it look nicer than a parking garage. So that's what my next goal is, and I will figure something out, and I'll be right back and show you the final product. Alright, I got the whole building decorated. We'll go outside and take a look at that, but this is just the inside of it, using a blue and purple and white tone. Just wanted to show you that the radio connection units, in fact, have been building. And it's taken long enough to where they're all completely full. 100% full. So yeah, we got a bunch of radio control units ready to send out wherever we need to do that to, which is actually in the next episode. I'm going to double check my spreadsheet. I don't have it open for some reason, because dummy me. I should have had that open from the get-go, but I didn't. So yeah, I made 89.6 radio control units, and they are all going to the next episode, which is pressure conversion cube, but we have to make the fuse modular frames first, so that's what we're doing there. But yeah, this is the building completed now, so if we go outside, we can see everything stopped running, which is completely fine. That just means once we actually start making the pressure conversion cubes, we can start utilizing this factory some more. So this is the design from the outside here. It's pretty simple, and it's just a repeated pattern basically. So on the bottom, I just used these 8-meter tilted walls just to kind of give some more depth to the build. And then I did an indented wall with frame pillars and cables and all that stuff. It's actually pretty expensive. So if I go up here, it's like 408 steel beams, which is insane. I actually ended up making a mini, like, well, it's not a mini, but I made a temporary steel beam factory because I knew I was going to be using a lot of steel for this. But yeah, this is what the building looks like all the way around. I think it looks pretty good. There's no windows in this one, so this is one of the few buildings that actually have windows. I do have more room up top, so I can always expand vertically if I need to, just not on this side. We'll have to kind of change the shape of the building. Completely fine. That is completely fine. So that is basically it for this episode. I can share with you what I'm gonna plan to do in the next episode. That is 2 things. We need more blenders, because of course, and we need assemblers. And the 2 things we are going to make is, and I told you about this already, we're going to make this alternate recipe heat fuse frames. So that's heavy modular frames, aluminum ingots, nitric acid, and fuel. Guess what? We're making all of that. And then we take those and we make pressure conversion cubes, which are just fuse modular frames and the radio control units that we just made in this episode. So that's really all we're doing in the next episode. We're taking a lot of aluminum in the next one, and the rest of the nitric acid that we're producing. This will take the rest of the nitric acid. This will take all the heavy modular frames. We got a lot to do. Like, we gotta route a lot of stuff around. I think our fuel's in that one, and our aluminum ingots are here, and our heavy modular frames are there. So it's gonna be going all over the place. Nitric acid is over there. And then what would be ideal is we make the fuse modular frames near the radio control units, just because then they're right there and we don't have to route them across the whole place. It might be best to build them here. So yeah, I'll figure that out for the next episode. But that is it for this one. We are finished with another building. We could check the map here. Yeah. So we're starting to run out of room here. Yeah. I think the map's a little messed up, but that's completely fine. We still get the idea of what this is supposed to look like. We have this much space to build more factories. And then we have this much space to build the fuel stuff. And that's gonna, yeah, so next episode we're gonna build the fuse modular frames and the pressure conversion cubes, probably on top of this building. And then the following episode, we can actually start working on the plutonium. That's going to be insane. So yeah, that's it for this episode. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.